This is God Alive.
This is the Exalted Pile Driver.
This is Griff. Arnold.
This is Alex. And Nick from Tyrannonaut.
Greetings from the far Siberian deeps. Here is Peter of Isgerur Morth.
This is Zik Evil from Natal Clef.
This is Nick from Hessian Farm.
This is Jason from Sulaco. I'm eating a plain cheeseburger.
What's up, everybody? This is Ross Dolan from Immolation.
It's Brian Mason from Charmer, Sulaco, and Contrarian. Maybe BML.
What's up? This is Sully.
This is Mama Nat.
Hey, this is Rick Dorr from Wolfpack 44, the Electric Hellfire Club, and Coven.
This is Richie from Grave Huffer.
And we're Immortal Possession, and you're listening to
Grand Dystopia.
You know what it is?
Hey. We're back with episode 298.
Feels good, yeah?
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah, eh? So how was your first month of the year?
It was okay.
Yeah.
It was long and sunless.
Yeah.
But we did it.
Yep.
How about you?
Yeah, probably exactly the same.
Well, but yours was dry.
It was.
And mine
was chapped.
Mine was damp. Mine was moist.
So we're back with a guest. We have a great interview.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Yes.
We have Mental Anguish on the show today from Buffalo.
Yep. Grindcore from Buffalo.
Yep. So instead of us babbling, we're going to play a song by Mental Anguish and then get into our conversation with them. I believe we're going to hear Construct of Fear. Hey guys.
Hey.
Thanks.
Howdy.
Nice meeting you, Carl. And
Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to have Jim, Chris, and Russ back from people know from Anthropic.
Yeah.
But now here promoting Mental Anguish. You guys have a show tonight?
We do.
At the Montage?
At the Montage.
Yeah.
Still closer. Yeah, at the Montage. Yep. We like it there. I like it there.
So how did this project come to be?
Oh boy. So Carl and I were in a band way back in the day.
What was the band?
Immortal Terror.
Okay.
And that was Buffalo's first grindcore band, whatever. At whatever point the band ended, as bands do, it was not on the greatest of notes. We didn't talk for a few 100 years. And then 104, yeah. So then Carl had some riffs, and he's like, "Hey, dude, mind if you take a listen to them?" So I said, "Sure." I listened to them; they were cool. And he's like, "Hey, do you want to, get together in a room and just jam and just see how it is and just mess around?" So we did that, and then it was like, "Oh shit, this is cool and fun and new and whatever." And then I kind of happened to know some other guys to fill out a band, and it was, "Hey guys, want to jam?" And they were
casual
yes, and
associates.
yeah, I mean, Russ, Carl, and I've known forever.
Yeah.
So, and then Chris, we've now known for half of ever. So
Feels like
now we're just pumping out tunes and having fun.
Plus, I was already in a band with Carl too.
Oh
back in the day, Petrofest. So
Yeah, you were.
It was just slide right in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
You remember Jim's like, "Yeah, dude, we've been doing this, like, we've been jamming," because the three of them got together and they're jamming, and Russ or Jim's like, "Yeah, dude, we need some vocals on this." He's like, this shit's good. It's heavy, really heavy. You'll dig it. And then I came down and I heard it. I was like, "Oh yeah, dig it." So that's yeah.
Which made me really happy because, like, I'm a big fan of Anthropic and like Architects of Aggression, like the vocals on that was just, they may have mixed reviews of what they think of their own album, but I just thought that was really sick. And when Jim said that Chris may be interested, I was like, yeah, boy.
Thanks.
Pretty pumped.
We have questions specifically for Carl, but I wanted to ask how your other three approach writing songs for Mental Anguish compared to Anthropic. Is it different or kind of the same? Same outline?
I'm sure we have each have our own ideas, but I've always, for whatever reason, been more towards arranging songs. Riff A, B, and C are presented, and I might think C is really the first riff, and it should be played 4 times, and so I've always been kind of foundationally help structure. Maybe I have an ear, maybe I don't, for just how songs should flow, just to get a foundation. Drumming wise, I mean, a blast beat's a blast beat, but Mental Anguish does more breakdowns. So I try to do more beats that I don't do in Anthropic. I just try to be different because the music is different. We are tuned lower, right?
Tuned lower?
Right. So we're
significantly
tuned lower. So it does sound different. It does sound different. But Chris sounds like Chris, and I have my style. Like any player's going to have their style. So I sound like me, and Russ sounds like him. So I just try to do my part to try not to have it sound that way. I guess that's my take on it.
We had a bunch of people, like, I asked them, like, "Have you listened to it?" It's like, well, it's pretty much all you guys. So it's like Anthropic, just with a different. I'm like, no, it's definitely different.
It is different.
And then, like, a couple of kids at the last show we played at Mohawk, we played, I forget the band, whatever. But while we were playing, I see them up front, and then they're in the pit, and like after they're like, "Holy shit, dude, this is like not Anthropic at all. It's like totally different. It's super heavy." And I was expecting it to be just like all fast and whatever, like Anthropic, and it's different. And
yeah.
Like, exactly. So anybody's listening and you assume it's going to be just exactly the same because it's the same people.
No.
More or less. It's definitely not. So, yeah.
Carl is the difference. Carl is the one who brings the material to the table, and then we arrange it.
Right.
Carl's the difference.
So in that way, it's essentially exactly like Anthropic was, because Brian would
Yeah,
write
Brian
all the
would bring
riffs,
the riffs.
Jim, and then Jim would be like, "Do this here, 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 and here," and then we'd show up, and then Russ has his input. Russ has a lot of input on the Mental Anguish songs too, about let's play this a couple more times, let's play this a little different, a little pause here, this, that. It's essentially, so.
What is the tuning difference between?
It's a fifth lower. We're tuned to G as our lowest string, and Anthropic is tuned to C as the lowest string.
Got ya.
Which is a pain in the ass for me because it's usually B for a 7-string that people go down to. So my 7-string lowest string goes down to a G. So you would think that it would go to an A.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the second string would be a G. So they were a half of a step off because that's the way Brian tuned it. But I didn't see that much of a difference in that half step. Plus, like as a tribute to Brian, I thought it was cool that we kept that C there. You know?
Do you use heavier strings for?
Oh yeah, I use 65 to 11s. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you came down at first with a 6-string.
Yeah,
and then the one day you're like, check out the 7. Yeah, I was like, holy
the next
shit!
day, after he,
I was like, yeah, this ain't gonna do it.
After he heard the power of the 5-string, low
bass.
G, it was over. It was over with.
I remember that day vividly because I remember getting to practice, walking up the stairs. Jim's opens his door. He's like, "Dude, wait till you hear this. Wait till you hear this." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's big difference."
I've always had that G string. It was always there. Now it's unleashed.
Nice.
When you got the 7-string, it's over with.
Nice.
And Anthropic is a secret weapon. Now it's blasting. No secret now. So, yeah.
Was there ever a conversation to infuse Carl into Anthropic, or was this always meant to be like a separate project?
Well, so never. This was always a side project in the beginning because it was just a couple old buddies jamming. So it was never thought of. I mean, Matt is our guitar player in Anthropic and all good, no worries. But originally when Anthropic was formed, when everybody started jamming in 2016, we did have 2 guitar players. And we played 10, 15 shows with 2 guitar players. So then when one of them went away, it was just Brian and Russ. And it was just the way Anthropic should be. So a second guitar player at this point
wouldn't feel like Anthropic.
Yeah, it would be different. I actually think, and you know, the more people you have in the band, the more difficult it is to, number one, rein everybody in musically, because everybody's got to be on the first fret or the first cymbal hit, whatever it may be, at the same time. And if you got one more guy, one more person, whatever, that's one more cog to be out of whack. And it's one more person to, I can't do a show that day. I got to work. So just, yeah. You know, and we're all in our 50s. So it's, well, not Chris. Almost.
This year, brother.
It's in the precipice.
But, you know, so another guitar player in Anthropic just wouldn't work. I mean, we were, I want to say a year and a half, right, Russ, with 2?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Year and a half, somewhere like that, with 2 guitar players.
And then just traveling too. We got that minivan. We pack all of our gear in to the ceiling, and all 4 of us can fit in the minivan.
Like everything,
literally
cabinets, everything fit in the van.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I had this guy ask me, he's like, "Dude, can I get a ride with you to that show?" And it's like, dude, our minivan is literally packed. And then we opened the back of it, and I'm like, told Russ, Russ is like, "Holy shit, man, it's insane how we just get everything in here."
It's like Tetris.
You know, I was like, you should, exactly. It's got to be, everything's got to be in exactly in the right place, and all of our gear fits in there.
But now we,
plus our personal stuff, everything. Right. So that's a whole other thing. 2
Your
vehicles
cooler.
and
the cooler always goes.
My cooler's between my legs at all times. But yeah, just that and exactly. Having to have 2 vehicles and the whole thing.
Yeah,
and everything too.
If we know it's backlined and like I don't have to bring drums or we don't have to bring cabinets, then there is a 5th seat and we can squeeze somebody in the jump seat kind of thing.
Or body.
But we just can't bring everything then. Which sometimes it's like tonight they have cabinets. So the van is light and Carl came up in a different car, but you know, but if we had a 5th person, they could have gone in the van today. Because we would have just packed a tiny bit different and there's room. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, we know this goes in first and then that and then this. We know where everything goes. This goes under the seats. Like It's a science at this point.
Yeah.
And we've
Got
played.
it dialed in.
Yeah, we've played. Anthropic's pushing 200 shows.
We went
Wow.
all the way,
Holy shit.
We went all the way out to Cali. We had our
we had a
bags
minivan.
on the roof in the bag on the roof.
Yeah, and Anthropic's pushing 200 shows, and MA's 5.
I think this is 4 or 5, and we got like
Yeah, there's already 5 or 6 scheduled,
yeah.
and we're not even trying really. So we know how to pack the van. That's all I'm really getting at.
Which is good because you're the Jimbominable snowman.
Yeah, I'm the guy. Yay me!
What, have you or would you guys do both bands on the same night?
We have.
You have?
Yeah.
That was the first MA show.
We're doing it again.
Oh, nice. How's that? Rough?
That's cool. It's easier.
It was good. Yeah, Frank.
I just got to go, hey, Matt, let me use your cabinet. I hope he's not listening.
Carl and Matt are friends too, by the way.
He's
Like
really
they've known
good
each
friend of mine
other
for a long time.
forever, so that helps too. Like there's days where we have both bands have rehearsal on the same night.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we might have an Anthropic show. So it means, MA normally practices Saturday morning and Anthropic practices Tuesday night. But if we have a show Saturday, then one of us isn't going to have band practice.
that
So we'll
makes
do
sense.
double duty on a Tuesday kind of thing.
If Matt and Carl are at all the shows, we could split the sets.
Yeah.
We could have one guy jump up,
Do half
blast
and
out
half.
a few tunes, switch them out. That'd be great.
Yeah.
The first show Mental Anguish played, both bands played, and that was a bit rough because it was
I
like
can imagine.
4 hours in between sets too.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
so that was like
yeah.
Ugh,
But
that,
if it was-
Mental Anguish first show, you play super early, and then Anthropic played like 4 hours later. I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Think about on
You know,
Chris's voice.
Like one band
wow.
break would have been fine, but then like hours later, I was like, oh, I just want to go home and go to bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so that was a little rough, but
we do it
got
at
through
rehearsal.
We got through it.
If we do it at rehearsal, you're just not drinking
yeah.
as much.
I'm doing my vocal prep for the show tonight right now.
I hear you.
Know what I mean? So yeah, that's. I mean, I can whatever. Used to, I could do scream for an hour and a half with without any issue. So back to both bands playing a set, just maybe with one band in between.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing it
would be good.
October?
But yeah, I think we got something planned, right?
In October, I think. The Noise Dosage Media 4. I think it's 4. Don't kill me, John, if you're listening to this. I'm not. It's 4.
Yeah,
but that's
1V.
3-day event now.
Mm.
He puts on a free show, and then we just do it. I mean, it's
Yeah. And speaking of that show, he's what we just talked about both bands playing.
Yeah.
He's got both bands playing on the same day when I would prefer if he would split us up because we would have played for different crowds on different days instead of on the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Just leave the stuff
with different
packed up.
bands too.
I could talk to him. Could probably make something
But
happen.
that's
Maybe.
That's just me.
Lambert, you do what we say. I love that dude. I love messing with him too, man. I mess with him. I always say some stupid shit, and he's like, "What?" I was like, He's like, man, he's probably sick of me by now, but I love you, John.
Sure, he's like all of us.
So you guys put out the EP in October, right?
Yep.
And that's a digital only release, right? Or no?
No, we have hard copies.
You do?
Yep.
Nice. CDs?
Yep.
Yeah. Any vinyls?
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
I'm not at liberty to discuss at this moment in time.
Ooh, that's exciting.
So it's possible. Nice.
I'm always doing something that I don't tell anybody about.
This is the first I've heard this. What's going on?
Sometimes we don't want to know.
Sometimes you just show up and there's stuff.
Exactly.
Or a show or something or other.
Jim is the merch maniac, man. He's like, "Oh, check this out! I got this." You're like, "Whoa, all right, cool."
So anyway,
Are you guys going to be recording more material?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. There's. I mean, we already have 13 songs. Yeah.
Nice.
We just wrote a new one the other night. It's totally, absolutely crushing.
Nice.
We play 11. I'm a little lagging on
12. 12 is
12's.
I think 12 and 13 are pretty done musically.
Seems like it's getting heavier and heavier.
Yeah, I mean, bands always evolve. You know, what they start off at one point, and then once you get to know each other and play with each other and get a feel for riffs and beats, and you know, I mean, even playing. I mean, Carl plays different at a drummer perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Carl has different cadence than say Matt or Brian does.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to get used to playing with him just the same as he has to get used to playing with me. Russ and I can just play, but you know, so that takes a minute to get used to. And then his writing style, my writing style, not my writing style, just you know what I'm saying, my ideas. So then the bands end up evolving into whatever they become. That's why if you listen to song number 1 and you listen to song 13, it's like, yeah, those aren't really the same. Doesn't mean one's better than the other. They're just not. Different. Yeah, they're different for sure. So
that's kind of cool though, because if it does go on vinyl, it's not. It doesn't sound like one long song,
right?
Because I don't really love that.
No. So,
do you guys have when you practice? Do you have names for your songs that are different than what they're actually called?
No, we always start out with numbers.
Numbers?
So it's just, this is song number, that's what we're saying, 12, 13, and then I'll,
Then remembering the titles are...
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still trying to, I got my cheat notes on my set list. And we got numbers.
What's the number next to it?
The numbers are I don't...
It's just like, I haven't had to think about it for so long with the Anthropic stuff.
Yeah,
now I'm like, oh, shit, what is this? Like, oh, no. I gotta think again. It's terrible. So, yeah, these are my cheat notes, just getting it all down. So.
Oh, yeah.
I shouldn't have said that. No, you gotta cut that out. No, I have everything fully memorized. I'm a professional.
He uses his iPad on stage.
Yeah. Pull out my iPad and read the lyrics off.
You can't see it right now. He's got a pen behind his ear.
Do you guys like comedy? This is completely random.
Yeah. Of course.
What do you think of comedians like reading from something while they're on stage?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird, right?
You're very.
Yeah.
We played a couple shows where that's why I said it, because like singers will have the iPad.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are very common now. Or they'll have like their iPhone like on their
like on a mic stand.
Yeah,
like, that's
I
kind of
literally
weird.
I'm saying with my cheat notes, because like a new song or something, because they'll play it for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and Jim's finally done changing the drum beats. He's like, I'll be listening to it and be like, dude, I got a new beat for this, and he's like, it doesn't mess you up, does it? I'm like, well, you went from a blast beat to this like beat down thing, so yeah, it's a little different the way I'm gonna approach that. You know what I mean? So. Sorry, Jim. I
it's okay.
Put you in blaster.
I try not to.
You know, so I usually like got an idea what I want to do, and then you know when they're done, you know, oh, we could do this, you know, change it up or whatever, and they'll put the vocals to or whatever. But now I forgot what the hell the freaking question. I just went off on it.
Oh, your cheat sheet.
Oh, and my cheat sheet. Thank you.
Using your iPad.
So using my iPad. You know, I don't have an iPad. I don't have the Apple stuff, so I just have one of the. Whatever the generic
tablet.
Yeah.
Just a large
just
monitor.
Kidding, but like my cheat notes is just like the first 3 words of the song.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you know how it starts out.
So as long as I know the first 3 words,
yeah.
As long as I know the first 3 words, then I'm good for the rest of it.
That's way different than actually holding something the whole song,
that's,
right?
I don't. Yeah, it's weird. I played with a few bands like that in a few different cities. It was just like,
I can't even imagine you doing that with the way you like jump around.
And then scrolling. Hold on, guys. I gotta
stop jumping.
I gotta stop. I have to stop moving. Then I gotta start playing with the stand. Then I guess play with the stand.
That pissed Brian off that one show. Remember, dude had the iPad and he's like, "What? That's ridiculous."
Yeah, he turned around and walked away. Brian was always like, he'd stand. I don't know how he was completely
stage,
deaf. He'd stand right at the stage, like God, man.
No earplugs, no nothing.
You know, and then he's like watching, and he just like turned around and walked away. I was like, he's like, I'm fucking reading off the goddamn thing. I'm like, yeah. Fucking bright. Man, a few words, but when he said it, it was like,
I know.
he was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Memorize the fucking lyrics.
So, Carl, according to Metal Archives, which we use as a resource.
Oh, boy, my past is coming back.
Those pictures need to be updated.
No.
Jesus. Oh, really?
Yeah. No, it looks like there's been some long gaps in bands that you were in. What were you doing during those times? Were you in bands still, or just?
I was in bands. I was in college. I did some electronic music, some ambient music.
Nice.
I actually did a thing with Mick Harris from Napalm Death.
Oh, really?
A lull in Beta Cloud, and he's still doing well. Electronic thing I just wanted to do something different for a while. But I've always played guitar. I played with a band called 5 Years Gone for a while, and did some touring with Chimera, El Nino, a bunch of new metal bands. Yes, I'm admitting it. It wasn't the high point of my life, but it was something to do.
Yeah.
Not that they're bad bands or anything, just the whole genre kind of ate itself,
Yeah.
It was still, a lot of cool stuff came out of it. And I just did my thing, Yeah.
How'd you get into the electronic stuff?
How did I get into the electronic stuff? When I was a little kid, they used to have a lab at school with a Moog synthesizer. And now I own a Moog synthesizer and a couple of other experimental synths. And they had a reel-to-reel tape player and analog delays and stuff like that. And that sound like, if you ever heard Boards of Canada, that analog sound just kind of stuck in my head. So I worked a lot on that. I'd studied in music theory in college. And stuff like that. Not that that has anything to do with what we're doing. What we're doing is it's like basic punk rock, It comes from the soul. I'm sure that seeps into it subconsciously, somewhere. But when I was a kid, it was the first thing I heard. First time I heard Black Flag's My War and Bad Brains' Eye Against Eye and a bunch of old punk. I garbage picked a guitar and I was figuring out what they were doing by ear. And that's kind of what, where I'm coming from now. I don't analyze and say, okay, this is G harmonic minor. What can I play against? It's nothing like that at all. It's just, does this sound cool? Yeah. Does it sound cool with this? Yeah. And then I bring it to the guys and I say, okay, what do you guys want to do to it? So this is the first time in my life I just let go of the ego. When I get there, I just present and I say, what do you guys got? What do you want to do with this? Russ writes too. Jimmy doesn't write music, but Jimmy coordinates a lot of the parts. I'll say, okay, what if we put a breakdown here? Put a stop here and stuff like that.
Well, even that new tune where you were playing it slow and then Russ is played fast. Exactly, and now the riff is whoa.
That's where the best stuff comes from when you come in with an open slate for your mind, just with some information. It's back in the day, I always had this predisposition that if you're writing music, everything's got to be verbatim the way you want it. And it's it probably came off as a power trip, to other players now in retrospect, because it's everybody's got their own vision of what something should be.
Yeah.
It's hard to let go and trust other people with it, But me and Jim, we did this 30-something years ago, so it's I know he's going to do something justice if I bring it to him. If I don't think he's done it justice at the first listen, by the third, I probably love it.
Yeah.
And same thing with Russ. Same thing. Chris just comes in. Chris is he's heard the song 1,000 times after the first time he's heard it. He just has something ready for it all the time. This guy's always ready. He could probably just write lyrics in the studio for it, just during a recording.
Definitely not.
I think you could pull it off.
It's got a big,
without an
iPad.
Not. No iPads, no phones. So yeah.
Nice. Chris, do you often have lyrics written and then you try to fit them to the riffs, or do you hear the riffs and then think, what is this song about? I'm going to write something.
Both.
Yeah.
Sometimes when they're playing it in practice, I'll just kind of hear something in my head that might go with it, or whatever. Carl's given was 3 or 4,
just a couple,
4 songs, 3-4 songs, something like that. Carl sent me lyrics, which helps because, you know what I mean. Sometimes I'm like I said all the time, I'm not a fucking poet, so you know what I mean. So he'll send me stuff, and then sit down and I listen to the song, listen to the songs and like, oh, this fits in with this and this, oh, that goes along with it. You know what I mean? Or sometimes I write a bunch of shit down and then piece it together, or some other songs. I just sit there and just listen to it and come up with something that's going along. So.
Have you tried writing other than lyrics?
Not since high school.
Really?
Like writing,
like no interest.
He writes love notes all the time.
Yeah. I mean, not since I was forced to in high school.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
All right.
And it was a large gap between high school and Anthropic. So it was like the whole writing process was like, holy shit, what is So it was just, I mean, I'm definitely a little more comfortable with it now. But then it's the same time, you know what I mean? It's like I sit down after freaking work and had a shit day and this and that, and I was like, I gotta write something to this, and I just sit there and I'm like, today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like sometimes it just clicks, and then and then other times it's like So,
yep.
Yeah,
Chris's titles are very revealing about the content of what he's writing about. His titles are like, if you've seen the titles, they're really cool. Like if I was just like browsing through iTunes or something and I saw those titles, I'd be like, I gotta hear that.
Yep.
How the Mighty Have Fallen, stuff like that. It's just
you
really
wrote
cool.
that one, dude.
Huh? I didn't write the title.
How the Mighty Fall.
I didn't write the title.
Oh no, that one I did. That one I did.
Boom.
That one I did. So. You're right.
Beyond Restraint.
Yeah.
It's very blunt.
Songs are all about violence now. I'll choke you out with my bare hands.
That's my favorite line ever.
That's Carl's favorite shit there. It's not about us. It's about a friend and the whole shit that happened to Shut.
So Mohawk closed.
That sucked.
What happened there?
I heard, the whole stage diving incident. Some singer, some band did a stage dive and took a girl out a couple months ago or something, or over the summer or something like that. And then
just downhill from there.
And I guess the owners were some mismanagement kind of shit going on or whatever.
Oh.
And I was talking to the bartender the last time we played, him and one of the other guys was working there trying to work something with them to keep it open. And then I talked to Jeff Standish at the last show we played, and he said that somebody else bought it, and it looks like it should be back open maybe by the summertime. So
the same flavor, or
who knows?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, at least I was like hoping like the bartender, because I know he'd like it would be the same.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to turn into like a fucking jazz lounge or something.
That's what I was wondering.
Shit, you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, oh, we don't want this shit played here. Like, because that's, I mean, Mohawk is. I mean, I've been to a million shows there. Everybody's been to a million shows there. And is it the greatest venue, to play to whatever? But medium sized venue.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
we always enjoyed it.
And it would suck to see that go. There's other places, but that's like the staple for Buffalo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I don't want to talk shit about the place, but I love it as a spectator, but the sound on the stage, at least my experience, was fucking horrendous.
Yes.
Calm down, Russ.
The last show we played, it was
100%.
just fucking the feet. The last show we played there, it was just
monitors and
the
shit.
first half of our set was just screaming feedback on the stage. It's like, dude, Russ is like begging the song, like, please do something, man. It's like, I mean, as soon as we started playing, it was like, and then the crowd's like, it didn't sound bad out here. It was like, yeah, but just piercing feedback through every song we were trying to play. It was like, holy shit, man.
I never complain about the sound.
Yeah.
Like we just play.
Yeah,
and I stand close to my amp. I can hear what I'm doing. But I complained, and even a friend of mine said, "Dude, that's the first time I've ever heard you complain about the sound." I'm like, dude, it was out of control.
Yeah.
It was just, it was rough. That was a rough set that night.
Brutal.
He looked at me halfway through his set and went,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I had shingles during it, so it was
bad.
extra miserable.
So you were having shit.
Oh, yeah.
Super fun.
And Juan was wasted.
Yeah, he was. That's pretty funny in hindsight, but
as long as it sounds good out in the crowd,
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
And it always does.
yeah.
'Cause I've asked that so many times, like, did it sound all right? Yeah, dude, it sounded great. I was like,
Yeah.
because it was fucking hard. It was rough up there.
I wish I could step outside myself, go out into the crowd,
Yeah.
hear what it sounds like, then come back, and then you can make the adjustment, you know?
Yeah, totally.
I wear, so I didn't play for a long time. And then started playing Anthropic. And probably 3-4 shows in, it's like, I can't hear anything. Like on stage is just noisy.
Uh-huh.
And you just turn up the monitor and it's just noise.
Louder noise, right?
Yeah. So I ended up getting, I call them ghetto in-ears, but they're, it's basically just a tiny little amp that I mic the guitar cabinet. And then I have earbuds that go from my little amp to my ears.
That is such a good idea.
Yeah. So yeah, they're U-Beats, so, like Beats by Dre.
Yep.
So they're the U-Beats are the ones I normally do. So the ear things for the earbuds knock down all the noise. I can still hear bass and singing and everything, but then I can really hear guitar. So, some people's like, you should follow the bass, but in our music, like, it might be just bass and no guitar.
Yeah.
Or there might be guitar and no bass. So I gotta follow, so guitar. We ended up doing that when we had 2 guitar players actually. And ever since I did that, it's like, oh, I can hear on stage now.
Yep.
So now they're like, what do you need the monitor? Usually I don't need anything because I can hear what I need to hear. Like I said, I can hear bass and singing through the earbuds. It's fine. So
That's a really good idea.
yeah.
And it's going to be consistent no matter where you go, because you know how every venue is like different.
Oh yeah. Or we play basement shows and there's no monitor, and it's just like, I got to be able to hear.
Mm-hmm.
My hearing's not the greatest anyway, and then it's just noise, and then it's I can't hear the noise on the noise.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah.
That permanent ring is seriously permanent.
You have that too?
Oh, Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
man. Nighttime is the worst.
It's like if I have to fall asleep with something.
Tinnitus.
Yeah, fall asleep with
noise.
like some serial killer shit playing, but it's
See,
like,
I'm not the only
but it's
one.
like super quiet to like where like if I'm like I can hear it sorta, but like not just so it's
See,
loud
he gets
enough.
it.
Because if it's dead silent, I just lay down and then it's like
Beep. Yep.
and I'm like, why does it keep getting louder? Jesus Christ, man, it's terrible. But even from shows and forever, I just bought some just earplugs like the like filter out all the shit, those foam things. It's too much. I tried all that shit and I bought like a pair of $50 earplugs.
They're worth it.
And I put them in and it was like, holy shit, man. Like it cuts all the bullshit out.
Yep.
And it's like, I forgot them I forgot them the one show. So I use these foam things when we played at Bug Jar last time. So I use the foam ones, but if they're in too far, you can't hear shit. Plus, I'm singing too, so if like once I start, if they're in too far, and
pushing
then,
on them,
I start to fucking scream, and then it's just all in my head.
Yep.
They can't hear anything else, so they got to be out, and they're just and like one fell out at the beginning of the song, and it was like my left ear, it fell out of there and was facing Jim. So it was just a barrage of cymbals and all the other shit coming up, everything. And then I was just like, I got no fucking idea where we are right now. I'm trying to roll up, put it back in my ear. And I'm like, and I see a dude in the crowd like laughing and pointing. I'm like, fuck. It's fucking terrible. But yeah, so. Yeah, they make it. Yeah, it's worth. It's worth the investment. Having those
yes,
huge difference.
He got me some, and I was like, "Well, then I can't hear." And I put them in. I'm like, "Oh my god, I hear everything."
Yeah, it just
And the phone ones, everything sounds so good.
Yeah, everything's it's terrible. And then exactly. And then trying to sing with it, it's like it just.
Yeah.
It's just like. Yeah.
I think. When you guys were on for Anthropic, we asked you about
Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts.
I was really sorry you were going to say
hamburgers. I forget it was something. Oh yeah, it was. What's your favorite Pop-Tart?
Oh, I had that one. Yeah.
Sorry to
No,
interrupt
it's
you.
I think we asked you about the strangest venue you played at, and I think you said something about like a skate park with garbage pails or something like that.
Oh yeah. No, that was two different venues. But yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We wanted to ask you, kind of as an aside to that, but for Mental Anguish, what is the most unusual fan interaction that you've had? If you can think of anything.
In this band or in my life?
I don't know. What's the most entertaining?
I played in a band that played the Michigan Metal Fest in the 90s, and there was a guy named Chort, T-C-H-O-R-T. It's a demon's name. And these two girls named Heather, and they both had the same exact haircut and blonde hair.
They were both Heather?
Yeah, they were both named Heather, like Heathers. And this is starting to freak some of the guys out at first, and then we're like, okay, and everybody, I don't know, looked exactly the same, spoke the same, said the same things. We get back to the hotel and we heard some guy screaming in the room next to us half the night. Mike Butch was there. He was our roadie dude at the time, and it was just a very strange night. Very, very strange night. Metal Mop at that. If anybody knows her, she did the Michigan Metal Fest in the 90s, and it was just an odd experience. It was really strange. And then we went to Toledo the next day, and that was like twice as odd. because like I don't know, it was just a weird time. You know, we were young, and this was the leather fringe jacket days, and everybody like full sleeves of tattoos weren't as common and stuff, and like everybody there was completely covered. We were like, this is weird, dude. You know, it's like, that's really strange. So the pond is bigger than Buffalo, I suppose. So when you experience that culture shock, it's kind of fun, you know. Not too crazy. No human heads, nothing like that.
Oh, that's good.
Kind of got one. I was thinking, like, what the fuck kind of weird? You said heads, and now I think of human heads.
Wait
Nothing
a minute.
with human heads.
We can't talk about that.
We played in this bar. Jim will be able to. I'm terrible with name. Played this bar, and it was like out in the middle. There was this like driving through country for an eternity, and all of a sudden we were like in this city, and we played in this bar, and everybody from everywhere came to that show. Remember that?
So Rita's?
See,
with
exactly.
the big blood?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was Rita's.
Rita's, wherever that's. So, you know, and it was like insane. Like you couldn't even walk through the bar. It was so packed. But before that, we get
Like
there.
packed. Like front to back,
it
wall
was
to wall.
absolutely
like, holy
insane.
shit. The whole
Absolutely
town is
insane.
here.
So
It was-
the whole town literally
yeah.
came because I was out back, you know, before the show started, you know, having a beer, whatever. And these dudes are standing there, you know, and they're talking about how they just got done slaughtering a pig, you know, like, oh, I got a pig to slaughter. Da, 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 da. I was like, what the fuck? They're like, yeah, man, we just got done. Like, you guys are
to
playing?
eat, not for fun.
Yeah, well, they were just, yeah.
They were butchering it
in the country. We're in the middle of.
I saw your face, and I'm like, wait a minute, I better clear this up.
No, they just slaughtered one of their pigs to eat or for sell or some shit. Because we're in the middle of nowhere out in the country.
We're in the country.
We're in the country, country. Yeah,
farmers preparing a pig for.
Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you.
You had that look of like, what?
Yeah. So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, well, I wasn't expecting to hear all like this. And I was like, where are you from? We're like, I'm from Buffalo. He's like, oh shit, you guys came a long way. Da, 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 da. He's like, oh, I'm like, that's fucking cool. Like that, you know? And they're like, oh man, you know, I was like, yeah, man, you still have the carcass? They're like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, man, you grab the head and run through the crowd while we were playing. Like, fuck yeah, we'll do that shit. I was like, it didn't actually happen, but that was it was like, man, yeah.
What a different life.
Yeah, like you guys just got done slaughtering some animal, and now you're just like hanging out here. Like, okay, and they're just like normal country life or whatever.
Yep.
So that was a interesting one.
I like that you guys saw my face.
Yeah, they slaughtered it in the parking lot right out there,
just for funsies.
Metal.
No, they weren't.
No pigs were harmed in the playing of shows.
Like corn was the heaviest shit they ever heard or something. You know what I mean? So they weren't like metal dudes. It was just like literally everybody that would come because, you know, that was
something to do.
something to do. Yeah, exactly. So it was a crazy show though. It was fucking packed. Like
There was a dude in a wheelchair in the pit. There was. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the first Maryland Death Fest I went to. I think it was the first Maryland Death Fest. I've never seen this before. Maybe you guys have, but there was actually a guy crowd surfing. I don't know if by choice, but in a wheelchair.
I've seen pictures of that where they're carrying him around and you just stand like.
I'm not sure how it ended, but
I seen
Hopefully
that,
well.
Yeah.
like an Oz Fest or something. And when I was living down in Florida, I saw something similar to that too. But yeah.
If I was in a wheelchair, I'd be fucking terrified.
Yes.
Or depending on your disability, you don't care because maybe you don't feel. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's
I
a
don't
good
know
point.
anybody that.
Traumatic brain injury is a traumatic brain injury.
I guess so. I don't know. Yeah.
This took a weird turn.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
So let's talk about those flowers you want to grow, Russ. They got that plant.
So, someone, an Anthropic fan that's coming to a Mental Anguish show, what are they to expect?
Well, I mean, it's still heavy. It's still a grindcore, but it's. I heard someone equate us to a sludge Anthropic. Actually, I think it was Oz. I think Oz was like, dude, I was like sludge Anthropic. But then it's not, though. I don't know.
I think if you close your eyes, I think you would never know that was Anthropic.
No. It's totally different. Carl likes the chug, 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 chug. He likes he likes,
bangers.
Where Brian wrote, it was just it's like blazing
Yes.
fast. Blazing fast through everything. In the last recording or last bunch of songs he wrote, he's like putting in some like kind of like hardcore riffs and stuff and doing different stuff other than just trying to like just be blazing fast or whatever. But yeah, there's lots of breakdown. Heavy. A lot heavier. Not that Anthropic is. It's not just all blazing fast. Chug, 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 chug.
You know what it is, you guys? For me, we're finally as heavy as I've always wanted to be. Like, I love it.
Nice.
I love it. The low end, low. I love it.
Russ found the brown note.
It's actually difficult for me sometimes. We had a couple Anthropic songs where I play along to like a slower beat kind of, or like, a slower music, but then I end up playing slower, but like halftime or whatever. And that's definitely out of my comfort zone. So I started doing a little bit of that in the last Anthropic album, but this album, I'm definitely, these songs, definitely there's more slow stuff, longer. Not necessarily more, but longer. I mean, there's Anthropic songs where the quote-unquote breakdown is 10 seconds, and it's like, okay, that was the breakdown. Back into blast beat. Now it's, the new song that's 25, 30 seconds.
Breakdown's like biblical.
Yeah, it's half to a quarter, an eighth, whatever is a third of the song is a breakdown, which we don't do. So that is different.
Yeah.
So if you like to dance.
Yeah, what's weird about this band is like it takes a band a long time to find a sound. I think we had a sound in like 2 weeks, the way we kind of sounded, because it's a group dynamic. It's not just a lot of bands like one guy writes the music and then he says to the drummer, or it sounds like a D beat part and drummer plays D beat on it or he tells him to or whatever. With us, it's just, what do you think of this? And then everybody just jumps in, does their thing to it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I start the ball rolling. Sometimes Russ starts the ball rolling. Sometimes Jim will come in and go, check the speed out. He's like, what do you think of this? Not like a Carcass thing, but like more of an old school thing or something, whatever he's going to say. But it's the way, it's just it sounds very natural. The band sounds natural. Nothing sounds contrived. You'll hear the way some bands, their earlier efforts are their best, and then they progress and it just gets like kind of You know what to expect, you know what's happening. Like Slayer's first 3, everybody's like, la, and then everything after that, they're like, this is cool. It's still Slayer. Hell yeah. You know, but nothing really jumped out after that. It's like a lot that with a lot of bands. This is like, it all just sounds natural. It just sounds like it was the way it was when it started, and it's where it's going. It's just staying in that direction. It's pretty fun. It came out, the baby came born with a name already. It was strange. It's just really weird. It's fun stuff.
Carl, did you find, since you played with Russ and Jim in the past, when you started playing with Mental Anguish, did it kind of just jive right away?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Nice.
I just plugged into Brian's old ring upstairs with Jim, and me and him just took over from 30 something years ago. It was just like, it was really kind of easy just to play to him. I was like, I had this idea. I sit home on MacBook with sample drums, just write riffs, get ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll throw on a D beat, and I'm just like, what would sound good with that? Or I'll just put in a groove beat, and what would sound good with that? And then remember those ideas. Sometimes not remember. Put them on my phone. Bring them to Jim, and Jim's like, and it was like, oh yeah, I remember you. You know, it's really, really simple. Musically, we always knew each other, but musically, like, that's what happened. It was like, it was pretty fast
and
instant.
Fun fact: we're in the same practice room that Immortal Terror played in.
Oh wow!
40 years ago.
Oh,
or
that's
whatever.
wild.
And the band we played in before that, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been up there in that room since 87.
That was
86.
where when remember we brought the Grotesque Infection rehearsal tape, and we were moshing around the stereo and shit in there in that same place. Yeah.
Brian was writing a zine at the time, and he would come up.
Yeah, Chainsaw Abortion.
And hang out. Chainsaw Abortions, yeah.
That room has a lot of history.
Yeah, it does.
It's crazy.
Good times.
Yeah.
It's green. The walls and floor are green. In the back, like a shitty green. Jeff and I, the old guitar player from Mortal Terror, he's passed now, but him and I went to high school together, and we would get off the bus like right at kind of the intersection where rehearsal is, and we'd walk down and we'd go to the little mini mart and we'd get Hydrox cookies for $0.25, and then we'd go and like jam, and then we'd be bored. It's like, dude, I got this paint. Want to paint the room? Okay. So we'd like clear everything out, painted the whole room, and then just we had a maggot farm up there. Remember that?
We had the maggot farm, the baby, and the. We won't talk about the baby.
Anyway,
it's 70s Brady Bunch green.
Yeah, it's bad. And we got a 70s couch. Couch is pretty cool.
The couch had caught on fire, and we threw it out.
Yeah, we lit a couch on fire and threw it off the second story of a warehouse. Jesus. Anyway, we were young and stupid back then.
We're just not young anymore.
Yeah, now our backs hurt.
Oh yeah, no lifting
I
involved.
ain't trying to lift no goddamn couch.
We have spare equipment downstairs, so we don't have to bring it from upstairs because there's 2 flights of stairs.
I get
where we
it.
practice. Yeah. Literally, we have an office downstairs with all of our road gear in it. Just got to bring like cymbals and pedals down, and like guitar heads. That's it. Like there's extra cabinets. There's an extra drum set, other cymbal stand, everything.
Yeah.
It's all downstairs. We just bloop in the van and off we go.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
My back loves it.
Yeah. Back in the day, we used to play shows where, I probably started jamming with Carl when I was like 8th grade. So what is that, 14, 15? Somewhere around there. But we would go and play at the Sky Room. Like we played with Carcass and Death one show, and it was like, that was awesome. So we packed their shit up, went back to the room. Dude, want to do it again? And set all of our shit back up again and played the set again.
Because you were so amped.
Yeah. Now it's like, I'm going to bed.
I don't even want to unload the car.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Russ, do you get nervous before shows?
No, not really. Not anymore. No.
You used to, though?
Yeah, a little bit.
I would be. I don't know. Chris, do you get nervous?
I remember for so many shows, like me and like Jim, like because Brian, like if we practice it right one time, it would be on the set list. So we'd be like, oh shit. And me and Jim would be out in front of the club listening to his phone, like, what the fuck? You know, and whatever. But then after we did the first tour, I mean, I still get like, you know, oh shit, all right, time to go, like get, kind of amped up or whatever, but not like nervous like that. But like even like after we did that first tour, after the first few shows, after show, day after day after day after day, then it was like, it totally, I don't even think about it, really.
Yeah.
I mean, so. But yeah.
Sometimes I forget the song for a second, like I'll look at the set list and I'll know what that song's next, and I'll be like,
is it?
Oh, okay. Like it takes a couple seconds sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're the only one that notices them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's another thing you got to remember, because not everybody knows their stuff, and even the people that do, it might be loud as hell and they don't notice it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the live experience, I'm never, ever going to play the exact same beat. I mean, sure, I'll play a blast beat, but I might do a different roll tonight than I did on the EP. You know what I mean? Like, and no one's going to be like, you didn't roll there.
Right.
You know, like, they don't care.
All right.
My favorite song for Getting Instance, we were playing Chicago, and I forget who we were playing with. Anyway, the promoter's like, play another one. So I'm like, this was after we played, like, not an encore, but just play another one kind of thing. He's like, come on, Jim. He was standing behind me. There was like a stairs go down to like a green room kind of thing. So he was standing on the stairs behind me. It's like, Jim, play another one. I'm like, all right. And they're, what do you want to play? And I'm like, I know, let's play Blacked Out. So I chose it. And then I went to go start, and I'm like,
you blacked out.
And you blacked out.
I'm like,
Seriously.
I forgot it. Like,
Seriously, dude? And that was the first Anthropic song
we ever
First Anthropic song ever. We
wow.
played that more than anything. He calls it, he's like, oh.
I think Brian then was like, da-da-da. Oh, okay, yeah, I got it. I'm good. Go.
That song actually hurts to play.
Does it?
It hurts a little bit, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it hurts the hand.
Isn't it?
Stretching.
Because it's
it's far, right?
The 4 fret,
Oh, yeah. Don't worry, it hurts me too. Every song hurts.
All right, let's take a short break and check out another Mental Anguish song. We're going to listen to Beyond Restraint.
What goes down at the end of the night? Turning threats we push away. How much more than we can take?
I have a question for anyone or everyone.
Anyone in the room
that wants to answer.
All right, Nikki, you're up.
Yeah, come on over. You're on over.
What is something that people might find like a bizarre source of inspiration for a riff, a beat, a lyric in a song, whether it comes from like borrowing it from some odd place or being inspired from the $6 Million Man episode or just something bizarre.
Yes, video games.
Yeah.
I have a riff. I wrote a song inspired from a video game song.
Oh, nice.
A tune. Yeah.
What do you remember the video game?
Yeah, 1943.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Airplane game?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Took me back to convenient store and
No one will ever know.
8 years old.
That's a really great question because
thank
no, like
I feel like we're on a conference call.
That's funny stuff.
Carl, you're muted. You got on mute.
You're a funny guy. There's guys who make like what they do, the dark ambient stuff they do. They go to the train tracks and they do field recordings, and they'll get like the trains that screech, the wheels of the train. They'll take a sound wave, like Mick Harris is still doing this with Scorn. They'll put beats to the stuff and they'll manipulate the wave, the pitch of it, the timbre of it. They might put like whatever, a lot of reverb, no reverb. They might time stretch it, whatever.
Yeah.
And this gives you sounds that are unnatural. Like that's why I would gravitate to the sound of synthesizers, because those unnatural sounds is like they suck you right in. You know? So if you listen to something that's like not a guitar, I don't listen to a lot of guitar music. I listen to John Coltrane, stuff like that around the house. When I'm driving, it's all metal. It's all metal. That affects my driving mood. But if I'm at work or something, it's like I got some jazz on, some free jazz or just something chill. And you get a lot of ideas from that rhythmically. It all comes from the rhythm. Jim will tell you.
Yeah, I don't even, no offense, I never read one Mental Anguish lyric. Not one.
Jim's like, nobody gives a shit about the vocals, dude. It doesn't matter if you fuck up or whatever. No one's paying any fucking attention.
I don't pay
and
attention.
After that last show, I'm like, dude is in the crowd pointing and laughing because he knew I fucked up. He's like, nobody pays attention to you. Says the drummer because no, everyone's paying attention to the drummer.
No, Chris writes good words, man. He puts time and, a lot of thought into it. There's, then we hear bands like Guttalax, and then he's like, why do I even bother? You know what I mean?
Whoa, no. Come on. That's one of my favorite. I'll have everyone Diarrhea Hero. So awesome. So great.
Jim made me go to Toronto to see Guttalax. And I am a Guttalax fan because they fucking put on a great
amazing.
Would you like them
show.
just listening to them?
Yeah. He put them on in the van and stuff, and it's just like
that's frogs.
Like what the fuck, dude's ribbiting like a frog and shit or whatever, and then Jim, not Jim. Our friend's like, oh, dude, he's got some fucking vocal effects and all this shit, and they did their sound check, and I'm like, that dude does all that shit with his fucking. His throat, his voice. I'm like, that's fucking insane. Like, I'm a one-trick pony. I just yell real loud. I'm like, I don't know how the fuck that dude can do all those crazy different like vocal sounds and like in the songs, and then just live. They just put on a great fucking show.
So they won you over live.
They were
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I actually went in the pit 3 or 4 times.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
They were seriously. I'm a huge Guttalax fan.
Yeah,
but
Jim was
still,
all in there.
like that was.
So that was
like,
oh, yeah, great. They put on a great fucking show, man. Yeah, great show. Yeah, they were amazing live. The music's great and all that. You know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
the
It's just
music.
Like
the music's great.
Fucking awesome.
Lyrics,
it's just
not
like,
so much.
And it's just like he's just. But there are none. I don't think. He's just like. It's like he says like the only like thing you can understand is like the song title. I think that's what he says. Like,
we're a boy band from Czech Republic.
Yeah.
That's what they always say.
It's like farm animals, like.
But the dude does all that crazy shit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck he does all that. It's just.
I got a picture with the singer. I'm fanboying when he did it.
Did he have poop on him?
Yeah.
This is the sound the frog makes.
Oh, yeah.
They wear the poop suits.
But to go back to
they're awesome.
To go back to our thing.
Video too. It's got like 5 million views on YouTube, dude.
Yeah.
Like the fucking
Diarrhea
Hero. I don't know if you ever listened to them or
no.
It's amazing.
Watch that fucking video.
It's great.
I played it for my fucking so many people. They're like, what the fuck? fuck. Yeah, he's like, yeah, it's all
everything's
about
poop.
poop. Yeah. And then
toilet brushes and everything's
and then, but like a essentially diarrhea hero. So it's this poop fucking superhero that saves the day. It's all animated and shit.
It's amazing.
I'm telling you, watch that shit. It's fucking hilarious.
Right. You'll love it.
You'll laugh your asses off through the whole
funny.
Thing. It's fucking great.
It's funny.
It's fucking great. So.
It's great.
Anyway,
Sounds like a good date night.
Yeah. Totally. No, when you go, they show up with toilet brushes and they're throwing toilet paper. And they play Obscene all the time. And they show up with like porta potties. And they always go on stage with the Tyvek suits and like gas masks. Like it's amazing. Like it's
hysterical.
No, I don't have a poop fetish.
Let's address that now.
It's starting out a fetish.
But to go back to some of the inspiration, I'll get us back on track.
What was the question?
I don't listen to rap now, but back in the day I did a little bit. So I'll do rap beats sometimes in Anthropic and Mental Anguish songs. I'll do the polka beat, as some people call it. Like Gutalax uses it.
Yeah.
I never used it until I heard like Haggis and Gutalax and those kind of guys, and it's like, whoa, like that's pretty cool. Like, and Brian wrote an Anthropic song. Like, dude, there's a riff you can use the polka beat too. So I'll do that. I'll listen to like 97 Rock back in Buffalo was like the classic rock station. You know, some of those, you know, bands, the drums might have a beat or something. One of the Anthropic songs, I use a Black Sabbath beat, you know, just as an homage, you know, that kind of stuff. But if I hear it and like, oh, that's kind of cool, you know, there's a beat in one of the MA songs that's reminiscent of Biohazard, you know, so that's typical of inspiration though. The rap, maybe not, but the other stuff, yeah. I don't know.
I know it can come from odd places.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, there was times, you know what else is a inspiration? Me messing up. So that's all the time. No. So back, we used to record, not so much as in Mental Anguish, but in Anthropic, we would record rehearsals. And then as we would fine tune the song, I would listen to it 1,000 times. Like, that would be the only thing I would listen to. And there was one song in particular that I messed up. I messed the beat up for sure in the song, but the mess up, it was difficult to reproduce. But once I got it, it was like, oh shit, that's the way it should be. And I remember like
did it live too when we played in Toronto.
Oh yeah, I changed the song because I messed up the song live, and then I was like, yo, that actually is blacked out. Yeah, it was blacked out. So I changed the end of blacked out now because I changed it live. But yeah, there was right before we went in the studio to record Architects of Aggression, there was a mess up and I kept hearing it. And Brian and I work where we practice, but Brian worked right near me. So he would get there at 3:30, quarter to 4, and we would jam at 4:30 as a band. So there were times where it was, hey, we got 2 songs written or whatever. But like the day before the studio, I'm like, dude, I got a new beat. Just go with me, please. Just play this riff 1,000 times, you know? And he's like, it's like, I don't know, dude. We're going to the studio like tomorrow. I'm like, just go with me. So he kept doing it. And then once I got it, he's like, oh, I get it. Like so that was cool. You know? So I inspired myself, I guess.
Nice. That's a full circle story.
Right? I try to have a brain sometimes. Bring it back around.
How about Chris? Do you have something that comes to mind? Do you have a lyric or a line from an odd place that you've put in a song or anything like that?
PB's Playhouse.
Fuck work.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, as far as like, I can't think of anything specifically, like a specific word, line, this, that, but I tend to like, you know, have a shit day at work or something that happens, and you know what I mean? Like, it's like fresh in my mind and I'm writing, you know, like, you know, or I'll watch like a documentary that's fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Something that just, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a poet, so I don't just sit down and write my feelings out and things like that. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where all my all the lyrics usually come from. Like not even thinking about it. Like I'm like, I'm gonna watch this and write. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'll be watching something and people say some crazy fucking. I'm like, that's fucking crazy. Whatever line this. Think of or watch some Ted Bundy documentary or something like that,
Mhm.
saying some wild shit, or kind of fall on that. I'm not original at all.
That's not true.
I mean,
it just
they say nothing is original, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It comes from somewhere.
Yeah,
Everything's done under the sun.
Yeah.
Watch crazy ass thing, even just like a short thing that was on YouTube, some crazy fucking thing that happened,
Mhm.
just some person, you know what I mean? News story, some shit. What that up, and I'm like, I think about something, and I just like, okay.
Do you guys
I
ever?
had one specific line I could give you. I'll choke you out with my bare hands. That was a live thing. Okay, I'll give you that one. All right, so we played this show, and my friend Jay and his wife Marie. I've known Jay since high school, and his wife Marie. I've met her. She's come to a bunch of shows. This that, and it was an Anthropic show, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was an Anthropic show.
Yes.
So we're playing, and he's getting in the pit, and then the young dudes, do the karate kick shit and this and that. Jay's an old man like me, so he's just kind of doing the pussy, push around pit stuff, no karate chops, and I don't know, the one song ended, and it was kind of chaotic, I'm like, yeah, everybody chill the fuck out, you know what I mean, whatever. Start playing the next song, and I'm not seeing anything that's going on, and then I look back out, and Jay's getting held back by two people like this, and his wife's got this dude in a fucking rear naked choke, like the UFC, and I'm like, what the fuck? She's choking this fucking dude. I'm like, holy shit, man. I'm like, what the fuck? Crazy. So that's, yeah.
I heard the dude that was
Beyond
messing with
Restraint
them.
is like that Mental Anguish song Beyond Restraint is based off of that, and then
What was the story there, though? What was happening?
No, the dude that was
Dude,
it doesn't matter.
He was targeting them in the pit.
Yeah, this dude, so this young dude was targeting them.
Yeah, he's
he kept hitting them in the
he
pit.
kept going
and pulling him in the pit.
He did whatever, and then the dude kept going at.
Then it was like,
going
dude,
at my
chill.
friend Jay.
He
kept going at him. He kept going at him, and whatever. And then
the old
he
man
went at him
strength.
again, and then Jay swung on him, and then other people, this, that, and his fucking girl. Jay was getting held back, and I don't know, the dude's face is bloodied up or something.
And the tooth chip.
Yeah.
yeah.
The chunk of the dude's tooth was on the carpet at the end of the night and whatever. So yeah, I don't condone violence, but yeah, that's special for them. That was fucking great, man. Don't fuck with them. So yeah,
Remember that happened to me? That one guy that kept ramming in us so hard, and he was so drunk.
When? Which time?
At the bug jar. Remember, it was so bad, and you got pushed into that girl behind you, and you rammed into her so hard you hit her face. That was the time I picked the guy up and I fucking carried him out.
Oh, that guy.
I was
I
done.
remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
I picked him up and carried him out. He should have.
It was a black metal show.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember it was an odd crowd. And
yeah, that was the night the guy was there in his tight khakis, kicking everyone too.
Was that the
black
same
metal show?
Yeah.
He fit his khakis at the black metal show. You fit right in.
I think he was left over from they were doing open
That
mic
comedy
comedy.
thing, yeah.
Oh, he probably just lost his job at Geico that day. He needed to kick the fuck out of something.
That might have not been the same show though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but that one guy pissed me out. He was ramming into me so hard.
Yeah.
And then he thought it was funny, and I just picked him up and carried him out.
Yeah.
But I didn't wear khakis today.
Right?
Jake. From State Farm. What are you wearing, Jake? Khakis.
Cast.
That was no plug for Geico or State Farm, by the way. not a sponsor.
I left them.
Did you?
I left them. That little salamander or whatever. Fuck.
I did too.
We have some nonsense questions, but
sweet.
Before that,
Yeah, time is flying.
I know it is.
Is it?
I have a question. For
Jim's like, is it? How long has this been going on?
I'm oblivious.
If each of you could answer this, you don't even have to explain it unless you want to. But as a kid, what was the first piece of technology that amazed you?
Nintendo.
Atari 2600 was what I was going for. Yeah.
First, it would be the fucking Atari. Because that just...
Yeah,
I didn't
Atari.
have one, but
Atari.
this fucking kid I went to school with got it for Christmas. And yeah, playing fucking Asteroids or whatever the, cheesy shit was. That was, video game.
In television or whichever.
Space Invaders at the arcade. And watching this dude rock the fuck out of the Space Invaders for like a half hour. So I get quarters and I'm like, boom, 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 boom. A whole fucking dollar I came in was gone in like 5 minutes or less.
Like,
I was
man, I
just like,
suck.
shit.
That guy sucks.
But I still wanted to do it.
Yeah, we're all 50 years old. The technology, video game, fucking video games.
The interwebs.
Now, yeah, the internet and all that shit is a whole other.
That was
eye-opening.
Yeah, that was not the
thing.
first,
Like,
but
it's like I thought of the most fucked up shit the first time I got a computer.
we're not talking about that.
Sorry, I wasn't supposed to explain. I already answered my question with Atari. I'm going to the internet. So.
Dark web.
I
shut
did.
me down.
No,
I did the same thing.
I just know where this might be.
I did the same thing, Chris.
I know you're good.
I did the same thing.
I met this. I was living in Florida. I met this dude. He was super fucking cool. He just came down from Wisconsin because everybody in Florida is a transplant. And I met this dude at the bar, and he had his jaw wired shut because his roommate sucker punched him. And fucking, I'm like, dude, your roommate's like, I'm drunk. He's like drinking. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, And then he was all cool, He was all into like punk and skating and shit. And then he we hung out a bunch. Jaw was back to normal or whatever. And he's like, hey man, I'm going back to Wisconsin to visit my family. I don't trust my fucking roommate with anything. Can I put my TV and my computer and shit at your apartment till I get back? So you can use my computer, hook up the internet and shit. I was like, I'll be gone for like a month or whatever. I was like, oh, that's cool. I never had a computer or whatever. So exactly. And that was like back in the I'm thinking of LimeWire and whatever,
Napster.
Downloading the shit, for download shit. So he's like, yeah, dude, you can download all this stuff and whatever, and it's all oh, cool. So I was getting music, and then I was just thinking, like, what is the most fucked up shit I heard about back in the day? And I'm like, that can't be fucking real. People can't do that. And I was like, wow, everything is all those fucking things I heard about people having on VHS tape. I was like, oh shit, man. It was all over. I was like, man, people are fucking sick.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that was and I didn't know anything about if you click on the ad and you can get a free you can get a free whatever if you just click this thing and fill out this form. And so he got his computer back and you turned it on. It was just like pop, 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 pop. I'm like, I'm really sorry, dude. He's like, what the fuck, man? He's like, yeah, I know how to get rid of that stuff. So I learned a lot. I learned a lot in that month I had his computer. Don't do clicking all that shit. And there are sick fucking people. Like, oh my god, the most horrific things I'll never be able to unsee. I saw. Jesus Christ.
Moving on.
I'll stop talking now.
All right. Why don't you start with the nonsense? We have trivia too.
Sweet.
Well, why don't you do a trivia until
trivia?
Chris gets back?
All right. Okay, this one's kind of good, I guess. It's not metal related, but before they became famous, what band wrote a jingle for Rice Krispies?
The Beatles?
That's a good guess.
Rolling Stone.
Yep. That's right.
Was it right?
Yeah. Nice.
That was a guess. I did not know.
That was good.
I like me some snap, crackle, and pop, yo.
The Beatles was definitely a good guess. though,
Yeah, it
for
was.
sure, Yeah. What is said to be the very first horror movie ever made? And this is old as shit.
Psycho.
No.
I'd say Nosferatu.
It's older. Yeah, it's in that area, but it's older.
It's older?
Yeah.
Frankenstein? Wasn't there an old Frankenstein?
It was a universe.
This is from 1896.
Oh, Jesus.
I think I know this.
Okay.
The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Oh, no, that's a good one. That's a good one, though. But it's not that.
Okay.
I like that movie.
1890.
See, me and my girlfriend, we watch a lot of Giallo and like any Fulci or stuff like that. But we occasionally jump on like Metropolis or all the old films and stuff. So it's like, you should know this, Nikki. Oldest horror film ever. What's the oldest horror film ever?
I haven't seen this one.
I don't know. Do tell.
The House of the Devil.
The House
of the Devil.
And that I think is on Freevee. I think that's on.
Is it?
Now you have to watch it.
Yeah. I probably just don't remember it. That's awesome.
Huh.
I have one more, but it's like I feel like it's even more abstract than those two. But I'll ask anyways.
Do it. Maybe we know it.
Okay.
We all know it.
I have to reword the question. Okay, this is like an older 80s band. What Swedish band got a royalty check for the amount of 666 SEK or Swedish krona and decided to stop writing satanic songs?
ABBA.
No, they had to previously write satanic songs. So it'd probably be like, it was Merciful Fate.
That's a good guess, but it's not them.
80s Swedish. Think of this.
I didn't, besides the song that they got the check for, I didn't think of this band as being satanic.
Yeah.
Okay.
You did?
No, I'm agreeing with
Europe.
Europe.
Who else was he? Yngwie? No. He did Disciples of Hell in like 90. I'm a guitar dork.
Have you ever seen him live?
I've seen him 3 times live. I have his pick. But I'm not a guitar
Did he kick
dork.
it at you?
But I'm not a guitar dork. No,
Did he
just
kick it at your face? Because that'd be something he did.
Right. With snakeskin boots.
Yeah. All the fog. So nobody can see anybody but him.
A leather tassel jacket. I saw him with Ted Nugent at Darien Lake near Buffalo. And he was opening and he was playing with Alcatraz.
Oh, nice. Wow.
And that was the bomb diggity. With
Yeah,
Graham
I bet.
Bonnet singing and the Bissonette brothers playing bass and drums. That was the bomb diggity. That was pretty badass.
That was in the early 80s?
That was in like the probably 80, 83, 84.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Badass.
I was 2. I like to point that out.
We hitchhiked. That was in my early teens. We were tripping. We hitchhiked, and I remember the show. I don't remember what happened after it. I remember getting home.
Okay, sorry. I think I
No,
totally
I don't think
derailed.
anyone cares about this question.
All right, well,
But-
what's the
I
answer?
still want to know.
Okay.
British dudes.
The song is Turn the Cross Upside Down from Oz. Not Ozzy, but Oz.
Yeah.
Oz.
Huh.
Which
I'm not familiar.
I thought was that and Searchlights are, I think, their only 2 good songs. I don't really like that band too much, but and I never thought they were satanic, but apparently they did.
Give me an 80s straight edge hardcore question and I'll be able to nail it, I promise.
Sorry.
Straight edge.
Give me a cross punk question. I got it.
Okay, what?
Wait, are you just making one up?
Yeah, I'm just making one up. No, this is just a question.
It might be true or not. I don't know.
I know.
No, I mean, you talked about bands' earlier stuff often being their best, which I think is a lot of people agree.
Yep.
What did you think of Corrosion of Conformity kind of reinventing themselves and sounding completely different, but I think they still did a good job on. I mean, you might have your preference on what sound you like best, but they did.
I really loved stoner rock. I played in a stoner rock called Sons of Ghidorah, where we had a song that was, I think, like 25 minutes long and just like, 15 minutes all and stuff. I really do like stoner rock a lot. I don't listen to it as much as I do metal and hardcore, but what do I think of it? I think that stuff like Technocracy was... Back in the day, there were no something core. It was hardcore, it was metal, or it was hardcore metal.
Yeah.
Or they would call it thrash metal.
Yeah.
So there were no millions of different types of cores and factions and stuff like that. But everything, you kind of got to label stuff to be more defined about stuff sometimes, so I'm not against giving those things up. But they were what we would call a hardcore band. And they transitioned to a very, very metal sounding like Deliverance. Listen to Deliverance and Technocracy. You have two different bands.
Yeah.
So was it Woody Weatherman playing on both of them? Yes, it was. Was Woody playing hardcore on Deliverance? Oh, fuck no.
Yeah.
No. What do I think of them changing? I think it's kind of a bummer that they changed, but if you listen to how raw Technocracy was, it was like a lot of those crust type bands that just kind of disappeared when music changed. So if they hadn't done it, they wouldn't be COC. But when I think of that, I don't think of COC like the COC now. It's like if somebody got a facelift, they had their brain removed and had another brain put in their head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the same person anymore.
Yeah,
so
it's very, very different.
I think it's really cool. I
Yeah.
think they're both cool.
Yeah.
I think a lot of bands that are in existence today that people follow, no matter, like, you see like Styx playing the county fair and they have one original member, but like the keyboard player or something like that. It's like, is it Styx? No. Is it cool? It might be.
Yeah.
But what do I think of it? I really enjoy newer COC, but I really love the old school COC with the skull with the spikes, Technocracy, or a combat core. The whole thing reminds me of my youth. I think those Technocracy, the back of the album had the tarot cards. Was that Technocracy?
Or was it Animosity?
Yeah.
Was that Animosity? Yeah, that was like, man, that was like,
that's the one I got.
yeah. When that came out, we were all just like, whoa, this is killer. You know what I mean?
Deliverance, the one with the flaming speaker.
Yeah.
Man, I love
That's
that
such
album.
a great album.
For
dude.
real. Like that.
It's so southern.
I dug it.
Oops, sorry about that.
That album
it's
was
so southern.
That was
one thing I know about CC is
that
some
was weird.
dude.
You can
they got,
call
like,
me crazy.
Yeah, in Tampa, they played in Tampa and Ybor City, and fucking some dude pulled out a knife in the pit and like stabbed a few people. A couple of people died. So then security got crazy at that club afterwards. Other than that, I wasn't at the show, but it's terrible. I'm like, what? Somebody got fucking stabbed in the
that's
fucking
awful.
pit? I'm like, what a fucking asshole. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, so.
All right. Would you guys like very fast, few nonsense questions?
Yeah,
I know
we
you
gotta hurry.
I know you got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them are more worried than we are.
Well, we want to be
You guys got
considerate.
somewhere you got to be? You guys kicking us out? Jesus Christ.
You can eat that?
Okay, Jim.
Yes.
Would you rather have oven mitts for arms or cucumbers for legs?
Oven mitts for arms because the cucumbers would rot and I would then have no legs.
All right. That's sound logic. I like it.
I'm all about it. or a stray rabbit or something would come up and eat my legs.
How the hell would you hold on to drumsticks without mid hands?
I got thumbs. I'd just be like,
I got thumbs.
I got thumbs.
I got thumbs. My name's Jim. I got thumbs.
All right, Chris, would you rather never age mentally or never age physically?
That's easy.
yeah, but are you
It's a little bit late now.
age from when? 10?
Age from
Baby? 15?
my brain's already. I don't know. What's it?
How about from now?
From now?
Yeah.
Yeah, physically, because I'm a fucking mess. I'm just going straight downhill. So if I could stop where I'm at now, I'd be good.
Okay.
All right, cheers, everybody.
Russ.
Oh boy.
Would you rather have your arms dangle to the floor because they're really long or because you're really short?
Because they're really long.
You would have 9 foot long arms. Russ is not. If you're listening out there, Russ is like a really big dude.
Across the room.
He's a very, very tall gentleman.
I was not expecting that. Imagine. I'm just imagining Russ like super fucking short. Like Russ is like, I'm tall and Russ is taller than me, so I could just Russ being like 5 feet tall, but his arms are exactly the same. Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right, Carl, would you rather go on a game show or on a reality show?
Game show or reality show? I'd like a reality game show would be sweet. But no,
not the question.
I would rather be on a game show, I think, because then you win shit. Because reality shows, you just get herpes and shit.
Yeah.
Fucking Price is Right, son. Yeah.
Good point.
But my dream to be on that shit.
Okay, Chris. Would you rather only be able
I
to...
thought it was only going to be one.
Nope.
Shit.
Nope.
God. Going around
Nope.
again.
Would you rather only be able to speak in riddles or have to sing every sentence?
I sing every sentence, I guess, because the riddles just make my brain fucking hurt, man. I guess.
So you have to sing everything.
Speaking in riddles, it would be,
You have to sing like King Diamond.
Like a number 4 value, yeah.
Still laughing at the arm thing.
That was a good one. That caught me off guard. That
All right,
funny.
Jim. There's another question here that I don't want to ask anyone because if it happens, I don't want to be responsible. But I'll tell you what it is at the end.
Okay.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Would you rather have a head the size of a watermelon or a golf ball?
Wow. That's pretty drastic.
You don't want a little head.
No.
There's a
Well, we
lady
all
here.
want a little head. Sorry. Well, so head size would equate to brain size. So a golf ball size head would be a rice size brain. So then I could, I guess, a watermelon head, because then I would have a massive brain. I could work on destroying the world. Isn't that what the brain said every day?
Isn't that what the band is
What
doing?
are we gonna do today, brain? Destroy the
Imagine
world.
him playing drums with this big fucking head.
What about a golf ball head, though?
I tip over. Oh, God.
I'm going to have some dreams tonight.
Somebody's got to pick Jim up.
Not me. I got to carry all this fucking gear.
Nah. I do appreciate it, man. You do a good job. He almost knows where everything goes now.
Yeah. I'm working on it.
Okay, Carl. Would you rather use eye drops made of vinegar or toilet paper made of sandpaper?
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Eye drops made of vinegar or toilet paper made of sandpaper? I'd rather use toilet paper made of sandpaper.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because I like a good, hello, good, how you do? Hello. In the morning. So yeah, I'll do the sandpaper.
Scrub it clean.
TP for my bunghole.
Scrub it clean, and then it's got the smooth side and the backing on the other side. So.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
So I'll have you know, I have to take eye drops for reals, and that shit fucking burns.
Yeah, it does.
I have to take it every fucking night. I got one drop in the morning in one eye, and then both eyes at night, and it fucking feels like acid.
Oh, that sucks.
Fucking burns. And you have to like hold your eyes shut so it goes down into your ducts. Fucking very unpleasant.
That's awful.
Yeah.
So would you rather use sandpaper for toilet paper?
I would. And you know what?
Jim's like, fuck, I'm already using it. I'm already using it.
Don't give me both.
Maybe I like both. At the same time.
I already used sandpaper to wipe my ass.
I got to share some. I work in inpatient psychiatric care, and I've been doing that for 18 years. And I would have, like, I hear some pretty fun stuff, and that I would have never heard that. I don't think I would have heard that. I've heard everything, and I don't think I would have heard. I'm using sandpaper-based toilet paper too. Yeah.
Yeah, but what if
what's
it's like
grit?
Yeah, I was going to say, what if it's like 400 grit? That's not so bad. 30, you might have an issue.
All right, I got one more for Russ, and then I'll tell you guys the one I didn't want to ask. And I think I'm going to know the answer to this, but would you rather live without music or without TV?
Without TV. Music's my true love.
Mm-hmm.
I can not live without that.
But then you wouldn't know if your Chiefs won tomorrow or not.
Ooh. Well, there's always a radio.
Wait a minute, you already know they're going to win, right?
Well played.
I don't have to know. I already know.
The future.
I already know.
All right, the unasked question is, would you rather know when you're going to lose a finger or know how you're going to lose a finger? And I didn't want to ask because if someone loses a finger, I don't want them to think back to this.
Yeah, but that goes to the whole, you want to know when you die, you know?
Yeah.
I want to know.
You would?
Yeah.
Would you try to avoid it?
No, because it's inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's going to happen.
I think I'd want to know too, honestly, because that would affect my decisions going, leading up to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would be one
like
of
if
those.
I knew I was going to die, I'd withdraw my 401k right fucking now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'd
but
live
then-
like a king.
But then maybe you withdrawing your 401k is what led to your death.
Oh.
Exactly.
Damn it, if I didn't get the 401k, I wouldn't have bought that extra meatball sub.
So if you told me when I was going to lose a finger, I'd wear like a metal gauntlet and I'd be getting off of an elevator and the door would shut and take my finger off.
Right, you lose the whole hand then because you're trying to stop.
It's a lose-lose.
It's bad. It only gets worse.
Which finger?
Yeah, but Tony Iommi has some fingers missing, right? His tips?
Yeah.
And he still jams.
Did you guys see about Ozzy? I know, of course, you see.
Oh, yeah,
you saw.
that mammoth
can't
show.
Walk
that?
anymore.
I thought you were talking about that crazy show in Birmingham.
His voice is so good, but he can't walk anymore.
It's all right. You can sit in
Parkinson's.
the chair and sing away. That's my boy.
Is he going to do another show? Is that what you're saying? I kind of heard some shit.
Yeah, they're doing one more show. Black Sabbath, Ozzy.
Bill Ward.
Yeah, all Black
I
Sabbath.
think it's in London, right?
Yeah, it's in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Where they start Anthrax,
Metallica.
Jakey Lee's playing.
Yeah, there's a lot of bands on there.
Jakey Lee's playing. Zach Wild's playing.
Jakey Lee.
Ozzy's my
He
guy.
almost just
Like
died.
Ozzy is. Like when he dies, I'm gonna be totally devastated. And I don't know him obviously, but
Well, you shouldn't talk about it because it's going to happen now.
I know it's gonna happen. I'm gonna be so sad.
I was talking to somebody about David Lynch literally the night before he died.
Man. But you didn't do it.
I don't know. I
Ken's
think I
fault.
might have caused it.
So I'm not a sports guy at all, but I'm a Buffalo guy. So yes, I care about the Bills and the Sabres, and I just want Buffalo to do well. So my wife and I, I've been with her 14 years. So we would watch like the Bills game and they would lose. And then we wouldn't watch and they would win. So now we religiously don't watch because somehow we feel like it's us. Like when they lose.
Same thing if you're wearing the shirt or you're wearing the hat.
And I
or
always,
the shirt and the hat's not a good combo. But
I
it's
always,
just the shirt and the hat.
I'm like, Mel, my wife's name's Melanie. I'm like, Mel, we're going to watch the game today. She said, no, we're not. Like, you know we're going to lose if we watch. I'm like, fine, we won't watch. Yeah, I can't tempt it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because what if
That's
So
right.
maybe if you would have watched,
Yeah, right?
they
I
would've
tell
won,
her that.
dickhead.
If we watched, they would have won, Mel.
Be in the Super Bowl. So there you go. Next season, new plan.
Oh, here comes Penelope. Penelope's out.
All right. I think you guys are welcome to stay as long as you want, but we don't want to keep you here. Do you have?
Keep this shit going.
I can do this shit all day.
We'll
You
just
guys
bring
are
our
awesome.
left in the cooler.
We'll just bring our shit down here and play here.
There you go.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Do you guys have anything you want to mention in closing? Anything coming up? You have a bunch of shows coming up. I think you have shows with Anthropic and
Yes.
Mental Anguish.
Yes.
Any news?
Just
We're on Instagram. We're on all the social media, TikTok, Instagram stuff. Check us out.
Yeah, and then all the 5-song EPs all on all the streaming,
All streaming media.
all streaming too. So if you haven't listened to it, assuming it's going to be the same as Anthropic, listen to it because it's not. You'll be in for a surprise, and then come and see us live because then you'll be in for a bigger surprise. We got a lot more songs.
One of the bands we're playing with tonight, Malignant. I was talking to Steve, and he told me that we're going to be playing their CD release party at Rita's this summer. So,
cool.
We'll see. But Rita's, baby.
It's locked in now. It's fucking locked in now.
It's on the calendar already. It's not official yet, but it's on there. But thank you for having us as always.
Thank you. We love you guys.
Yeah.
Good
Thanks,
times
guys.
for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting us into your basement.
Absolutely.
You're
always welcome.
Yeah.
Always.
Awesome.
Thank you. And it was nice meeting you, Carl.
Yes. Thank you, Carl.
guys, this is awesome.
All right. Cool. Have a good show tonight.
Yes,
Try.
Carl. Talking to the microphone.
Okay. Carl, you did good. Now you can have an energy drink.
Thank you, sir. No, thank you guys. You guys are awesome.
All right. This is us back post interview the following day. We actually went and checked out Mental Anguish,
Mm-hmm.
who played after the show.
Yep.
After the interview. I'm saying too many words, making this confusing. But anyway, if you get a chance, check them out. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun.
It is. So we have some show announcements coming up, right?
Yeah.
For this coming week, there's a lot going on.
Yes. So Tuesday, tomorrow, is Metal Meltdown with our buds in Uraka.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Friday is the big V Day, if you celebrate.
Juan's birthday.
But there's an amazing show put on by Prosthetic Brain at the Bug Jar. Morgue Terror, amazing. Krata, amazing. Crux of Torment. I'm not familiar with them, but I'm sure they're amazing.
Yeah.
And, of course, the one and only Sulaco ending the night. And then Saturday at the Bug Jar, the 15th, we have Ratkind, first show. You got to check them out. I promise you'll love it.
Yes.
Uraka playing again. And if you can't make Metal Meltdown, you should check out Saturday night.
Yes.
And Sailing Stones.
Yes. I'm not familiar with them either.
I'm not either.
But looking forward to it.
Yeah. So we have a busy week. We hope to see you guys out. It's been amazing being back.
Yeah.
We have another interview lined up for next week.
Yes.
Is it next week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. President's Day. Right?
We'll see you guys next week then.
I mean, the interview will be President's Day. But
Yeah.
the release date will be after that, obviously.
Yeah. The beauty of the new Grim Dystopian is there are no fucking rules.
Yeah, it's
and we
just-
do what the fuck we
It's a
want.
mystery.
That's right. All right.
Until next time.
Stay safe.
Stay healthy. We got to announce the song we're going to play.
Oh. We're out of practice.
Yeah. All right. We are going to play another song to end the show by Mental Anguish. We're going to listen to How the Mighty Fall.
Until next time.
Stay safe.
Stay healthy.
Don't be an asshole.
And
Russ found the brown note.